I think this is something we can probably all relate to. The daily work grind, it can be grueling, it can be stressful, especially for those who are not happy with their job. In fact, according to a survey from software company Bamboo HR, employee satisfaction in the U.S. reached a 4-year low last December.
Wow, 4-year low. But what if you could jumpstart your career path or even change it just by tapping into your passions and your personal journey? That is the focus of the brand new book, What Lights You Up? Illuminate your path and take the next big step in your career. Author Mary Olson-Menzel joins us now. Mary, thanks so much for being here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
You say that there are jobs that are a lot more than just ticking off the boxes, right? You need to find that purpose and what lights you up and brings you joy, but that can be really difficult to identify. Sometimes you're trying to just get a paycheck. So walk us through the steps of how you go about finding that path.
Yes, and I'm on a mission to make sure that people are happy in their jobs, because what I think is you need to work to keep the lights on in your house, but it's imperative that you keep the lights on in your heart in the meantime. So ways to do that are really tapping into what makes you happy. You know, do you have a side hustle? Do you have hobbies? What is it that you are doing when you actually feel real joy in your job? Start paying attention to that and see where the patterns are, see where you can really tap into that in the workplace, and make sure that you're heading in that direction with the tips in the book.
So let's talk about those tips and specifically the how of landing that job. Because even if you finally discover the idea or the industry that may turn your heart light on, how do you land that job? I mean, one of the things I thought was really interesting is you talk about how having a good narrative, how, for example, there was some guy who delivered his baby on the side of the road and used that as an example of how he can think quickly under deadline pressure. Yes.
So personal stories really make all the difference, right? I always say a resume tells, but stories sell. And you guys know that more than anyone.
I was going to say.
You know, and so if you can create a narrative about your career and who you are and why you are doing what you do today, it's going to hook people in. Stories about, resilience and stories about overcoming things.
Grit.
Grit, exactly.
So this is a story you tell others, a story you tell yourself to kind of help you light up and find that joy. You also talk about the 3 Ps during a job search. What are the 3 Ps? How do you work those to your advantage?
This is one of my favorite exercises in the book. We have a whole chapter on it, and it's basically turning your job search inside out. Many people traditionally look for jobs, they wait for openings on LinkedIn or Indeed, but really, truly, I say get intentional. Start to think, create a target list of companies that you want to go and work for, and they fall into the categories of the 3 Ps. Your usual prospects. For you two, that would be another media company. Pivots. That would be walking into a corporate environment and working somewhere. And then passions. What is it? Back to what truly lights you up. Is there a way to take your passions and your existing skill sets and match them so that you're doing what you love?
For Morgan, it would be a boba shop.
I want to own a boba shop so bad. I'd like to consider that an additional thing. I don't even think I need to pivot to do that.
There you go.
When we think about that, we only have a few seconds left, but sort of what are the best tips for people who haven't interviewed in a long time?
Yes, practice, practice, practice. Research the companies, the people that you're interviewing with, and then practice in the mirror. Practice with your family. Practice with your dog if you need to, truly. And that way you start to get comfortable with your narrative, and that's going to help you every step of the way with a comfort level with whoever's interviewing you.
That's storytelling. It's so important.
Great advice.
Some of it actually keeps us employed, and it lights up our heart.
Yes, it
Funny
does.
Story.
Yes.
Mary Olson-Menzel, thank you so much for joining us. And to our viewers, stay right here. You are watching NBC News Daily.
It was a